guys, it's Danny. So today I'm going to do my May wrap-up and June TBR. I had an amazing reading month in May. Probably my best reading month ever. I read a total of 7 books. In May, I finished up my semester of college and I came back home, and since I've been home, I've had so much time to read. The first book I read in May, which I started reading while I was still in school, was City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare. City of Fallen Angels is the 4th book in the Mortal Instruments series. If you're interested in reading the Mortal Instruments series, I would recommend you looking at City of Bones, since that is the first book and you don't want to be spoiled. But like always, I will list all the books below that I talk about. A lot of people say that after the 3rd book, City of Glass, that the Mortal Instruments kind of go downhill, but I actually disagree. This book didn't have the most action out of all the books that I've read so far in the series, but I found it really interesting. It might have been my favorite in the series so far. I think that really is because of the characters. Since it is the 4th book, I've already spent 3 other books with the characters and I've fallen in love with them. And the best thing that Cassandra Clare does is her characters. She just makes the most wonderful characters, which is why I love this series so much, and I just fell in love with this book too. And I really recommend people going ahead reading after City of Glass, because I know I was talking to one of my friends and she was saying she was going to stop after City of Glass. I was like, why would you do that? Don't you want to continue the whole series? I would give this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I've loved every book in the Mortal Instruments series so far, but like I said, this one might really be my favorite. I can't wait to read more books in the series, The City of Lost Souls and City of Heavenly Fire, but I don't think I will be getting to them for a while because now I want to be able to get into the Fertile Devices series, and I still don't think I'll really be reading that soon either because since it's the summer, I've been getting a ton of books from the library. Actually, all of the other books that I will mention are all from the library because I love my library at home so much. I've been there almost every day since I've been home, and I've been loving getting new books from there. The next book I read in May is Can You Keep a Secret by Sophie Kinsella, and this is an adult fiction book. It's kind of like a chick flick, a romantic comedy sort of book. And I loved it. I would give it a 5 out of 5 stars. Can You Keep a Secret is about a girl named Emma who goes to a different country for this big meeting, and she bombs the meeting. So when she's on the airplane home, she's really upset and there's a lot of turbulence and stuff, and she's very afraid of airplanes. She gets very nervous and decides to tell the person sitting next to her all of her secrets. She says everything she could think of, all the most embarrassing secrets ever. And then she goes into work, and that ends up being her boss. Not really her boss, but the founder of the company. And so it's a really funny book about that, and it's a romantic comedy, so obviously people fall in love, and it was so cute. I love this. I love Sophie Kinsella's writing. I'm really looking forward to reading more books by her, but I'm trying maybe not to read any more books by her until I'm out of college, because these are adult books and I feel like I would appreciate them even more once I'm out of college. And while I'm still in college, I could really read more young adult, which I really love. So she has a lot more books that I'm really looking forward to read, especially Confessions of a Shopaholic. And I will get to those eventually, but probably not soon. The 3rd book I read in May was These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. And I've been looking forward to reading this book for so long, mainly because the cover is absolutely gorgeous. I wanted to own this book so badly because it's so pretty, but I didn't. I got it from the library, which still, it's amazing. When I was reading it, I kept on stopping to just stare at the cover because it's just so pretty. I mean, look at this. It's gorgeous. And you've probably heard of this book already if you watch a lot of BookTube, but it's about a girl named Lilac and a boy named Tarver. And Lilac is from, like, the richest family in the world. Well, pretty much in the universe, because this is a sci-fi novel and it takes place in space. And Tarver is a war hero, but he comes from a pretty poor family. And Lilac and Tarver are a very unlikely pairing to become friends or lovers or anything, but they get stuck on a planet by themselves, and it's a book about survival and everything like that. And like I said, it's a sci-fi novel. And I would give this book a 4 out of 5 stars. It was kind of disappointing, mainly because I realized that I never actually read the description of the book before. I guess I've just listened to what other people have said about it on BookTube, which didn't really seem accurate to me. A lot of people said it was like Titanic in space, which I think is very, very off. First of all, I thought this book would really take place in space. In the beginning it does, but then they're pretty much stranded on a planet. A planet. Like, there's trees, everything like that. I would compare it more to Lost than I would to Titanic. I still enjoyed it, it just wasn't really what I expected. It was much more dystopian than I thought it would be, and I'm really not into those kind of books right now at all. But it was good. I read it in like a day and a half, so that's really why I gave it 4 stars, because I obviously loved it if I read it so fast. So I will read the second book in it. My library does not have the book yet, so I probably won't be reading it for a while, but I did enjoy it, and I do recommend you reading it, but maybe just reading the description first, because that gave a better idea about what the book is actually about and not like Titanic in space. The next book that I read in May is Dune by Carrie Corp and Lori Langdon. I'm sorry if I mispronounced those names, but I absolutely love this book. I would give it a 5 out of 5 stars. This probably will become my second favorite book series ever. I just fell in love with the world so much, and the writing style and the characters. It was just so great. I loved it. Once in a while I was kind of annoyed with what the characters were saying, like the girl characters like Veronica and McKenna. They just, I don't know, they acted kind of stupid in their situations, and I definitely would have not done that if I were them. But I love Jamie, and he is wonderful, and this was so cute. It's like a historical fiction with some magic in it and stuff. It's about these 2 girls, Veronica and McKenna, and they cross this bridge, and it transports them into this different world that's kind like they live in the past, kind of, but it's really hard to just explain. They do a really great job in the book of creating the world and the setting and everything, and I love this so much. I cannot wait to read Destined for Dune. And yeah, I really did not expect to love this book as much as I did. It's been on my TBR, but really, it was incredible. Like I said, 5 out of 5 stars. Love this book, and everyone should really read this. The next book that I read was The Heir by Kiera Cass. And if you know me, you know that the Selection series is my favorite series ever. So I could not wait for this to come out. I do not own any of the books from the Selection series, so I got this from the library. I was the second person to get it, and I loved it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing a review of this and putting that up on my channel, so be on the lookout for that. But I would give this a 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. I know many people were really disappointed in this book and disappointed in the main character, Evelyn, but I really enjoyed the book. I enjoyed Evelyn, so I will be talking about that more in my review. Like I said, basically the Selection series is about, it's kind of a mix of The Bachelor and The Hunger Games, and like princesses and princes and everything. And this is the 4th book in it, and so the 4th book is a spin-off of the first 3. So it's that the prince and his wife, who's the choice that he made in the selection, the first 3 books, they have a daughter named Evelyn, and she has to go through the selection. So that's what this book is about, and I really recommend it. It has a gorgeous cover, the most beautiful cover out of the whole series so far, and I cannot wait for the next book. When I was at the end of it, I wasn't sure if there was going to be a 5th book or not, but then I found out there is, so I'm so happy about it because it ended off in such a cliffhanger. I need to know what happened. Again, I love this book so much. I read it so fast. It was amazing. Read this. It was great. The next book that I read in May was A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. And I've never read a book by her. The Throne of Glass has always been on my TBR, but I never got around to it, and I saw this at the library. It was brand new. I'm the first one to get it from the library, so I really couldn't pass it up. Plus, I saw it was a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I love those so much. So I read this. It was very long. It took me a pretty long time to read, and I did not love it. I would give it a 4 out of 5 stars. It's about fairies, and that's one thing that I wasn't too sure about. I've read 2 books about fairies in the past, which I did not like at all. And I actually didn't mind the fairy aspect of this book. I thought she did it pretty well. I'm hoping I like her Throne of Glass series more than this. The last book I read in May was Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. And I thought I'd be reading this book in June, not in May, but I ended up finishing it just in a couple of days and absolutely loving it. I would give it a 5 out of 5. It's a contemporary about a girl named Emily who has a best friend named Sloane, and Sloane disappears at the beginning of the summer, and Emily doesn't know where she went, so all of a sudden she gets a letter in the mail with a list of 13 things to do, which has things like kiss a stranger, steal something, ride a horse, dance till dawn, hug a Jamie. So it has just random things to do on the list for Emily to do over the summer, because Emily's very shy and really relies on her friendship with Sloane. So by doing this list, she makes a ton of new friends and everything, and it was a really enjoyable book. I really, really liked it, and yeah, I wish it wasn't a standalone because I loved it and I would like to read more about it. So those were the 7 books that I read in the month of May, and now I will show you my June TBR. I only have 3 books on my TBR so far because I'm not sure if I will get more books from the library or not. I'm on hold for a lot of books, but these are the books that I have already that I cannot wait to read. The first book is The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. And this book is a historical fiction. It might have a little bit of magic in it. I'm not positive. I've been wanting to read this book really badly. I just started it last night, and I really like it so far, and I cannot wait to finish it. The next book on my TBR is Saint Anything by Sarah Dessen. I've read a few of her books in the past, and this book just came out, and I'm like the second one to get this from the library, which I love having that happen. It's like having a brand new book. And I don't know much about it, but I'm really excited to read it. My third book is Attachment by Rainbow Rowell. I have read Fangirl and Eleanor Park by her, and this is the third book that I've really been wanting to read. I haven't read Landline yet, but it doesn't seem as interesting to me. So I am looking forward to reading this also. There's actually a 4th book on my June TBR also, which I forgot about. It's Rebel Belle by Rachel Hawkins. I just got this from the library finally. I was on hold for it for a while, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. I'm pretty sure I don't know if it's kind of like fantasy-ish. I'm not really positive. All I know it's supposed to be really funny and a really great read. So I'm looking forward to this too. I'm probably going to be reading more books in June, and you'll see that in the June wrap-up. So thank you for watching. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.